Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers. Welcome to a brand new Doctor Who related video for today. And this video is, of course, why I love the McCoy era. So, out of all of Doctor Who, out of all of the Doctors and everything, out of all the eras, the McCoy era is my second favourite era. Now, I've been talking to quite a few Doctor Who fans over the last three days. And of course, then I've been talking to them through X, aka Twitter and Instagram. And we were talking about the McCoy era. Some of them don't like the McCoy era, and half of us do. And to be honest with you, I got asked by these fantastic Doctor Who fans, if I could do a video explaining why I love the McCoy era. Well, that is what I'm here to do today. So for me to sit here and say why I love the McCoy era, well, there's just something about the McCoy era that really screams special to me for Doctor Who. And I'm going to talk about the seasons first, and then the stories in the seasons, and then basically the whole McCoy era in general. So, season 24, it gets a pretty bad rep by fans, and I mean a pretty bad rep, but I personally love season 24. I don't get why people don't enjoy it. I mean, yeah, okay, Tarman Irani is very of a mixed bag, but that was actually written for Colin Baker to come and film and do his regeneration scene at the end. But because Colin Baker said no, he wasn't going to regenerate during the first story because he wanted to come back and do a full season, so I had to bring the regeneration forward. So where it would have been like at the end of the first episode, well, the end of, like, for part 4 of the end of the story, they had to bring it forward and put McCoy in a week. So Time and Irani was actually supposed to be a Colin Baker story. It was written for Colin Baker. But the thing is, though, I don't really think, considering that, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I love the Tetraps. I love the Irani, Kate O'Mara. She's absolutely flipping brilliant as the Irani. So I do personally love Time and Irani. And of course, I just genuinely just flat out love this whole story. Paradise Towers, it is literally the second best story of season 24. Now, Paradise Towers is definitely McCoy, because we do start to see little cracks in the paling of the artwork for McCoy, because we start to see a little bit of the Chessmaster Doctor coming through the actual nuts and cracks, and we do see McCoy manipulate the guards, and that's something I absolutely love, because the way he just basically manipulates it. And I love how the music in the background just plays into it, where McCoy's just literally he's literally manipulating the guards to do what he wants to do, so he can literally go through their back pocket, take out the key card and escape. So that really is quite funny. Down the Bowman, now I know some people don't love this story. It doesn't get a good reputation, but I personally do enjoy the bad stories. Now, if I could say what bad stories there is, well, to be honest with you, out of the classic here, there's only 2 bad stories I do not rewatch quite a lot. And that is, of course, the Mutants for season 9 and, of course, the Twin Dilemma for season 21. But considering that classic Doctor Who's only got those 2 stories I consider to be really, really bad, modern Doctor Who has so much of the worst episodes, in my opinion. And to be honest with you, Doctor and the Bowman is not a bad episode. I think it's very, very campish. It's very silly in certain aspects. And I just personally love some of these effects they use. Like when the Doctor creates like a force field generator, flies around the actual time-travelling bus to 1950s Disneyland and end up landing in South Wales. I don't like the American chaps, because I have got quite a few American friends. Like, I got another sci-fi guy who's absolutely cracking. I got a few American friends on Facebook and stuff, and they don't sound anything like how bad these 2 actors are trying to parole American accent. And I just don't really care for them. But the episode is not generally that bad, because I do like Gavrock. I do like the Barrow Men, because they do make me laugh when they stick out their tongues, go like that. I love the actual Queen. The actress that plays the Queen, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I do quite enjoy the story. Dragonfire is definitely the best story of the season, and it's got some great epic moments in it, like where we see at the end of part 4 where you kind of just see Mr. Kane's face kind of melts away because he's looking into the sun. I really love the creature of the dragon, done so well. Again, Bonnie Langford just screams the hell out of this episode, and it just bugs me a little bit. McCoy does a little bit of silly pretending to slip on the snow and stuff, but I don't know if that's generally because the bottom of his shoes didn't have anything to grab onto the slippery surface, so that might be it. But itself is actually quite good. Genuinely, absolutely quite good. Then, of course, jumping into season 25. Now, this season has been rumoured to be coming out next in Doctor Who The Collection range, which means the McCoy era will be complete on Blu-ray. And personally, I wouldn't want it to be next because I don't really want to finish off the 80s because we've only got 2 seasons of the 80s, and the 80s is my second favourite era of the show in general. So I don't really want to finish off the 80s, but I am quite looking forward to finishing off the McCoy era because McCoy is absolutely my second favourite incarnation of the Doctor, and season 25 and season 26 are the 2 best seasons from the 80s, literally the 2 best seasons of the 1980s in general. So season 25, we have Remembrance of the Daleks, which covers a Dalek civil war between the Renegade and the Imperial Daleks. And of course, we have a Dalek Supreme, and we have Davros pretending to be an Emperor Dalek. And of course, we have some humans working for the Daleks because you got one that's been controlled for the mind, like you got the little girl working for the Daleks with the time control, and then you've got the headmaster working for the Imperial Daleks. Absolutely cracking story. Happiness Patrol. Flat out amazing. I love the Happiness Patrol. I really love the Candyman's design. I think the BBC had basically from what I have read online about it, that basically kind of got sued because it looks like an actual sweet person's design. So I think they got sued for using the Candyman, but I don't know the actual full details of it. Then, of course, we have Silver Nemesis. Again, I do personally enjoy the bad stories. And Silver Nemesis, to me, it's not a bad story. It's brilliant. It's got a lot going on for it. I mean, you got the Lady Penfrey. Then, of course, you got the Cybermen in it. And, of course, you have Nazis all trying to get their hands on the Silver Nemesis. And the 7th Doctor is just kind of there in a situation where he's manipulating, trying to make sure the Silver Nemesis wipes out the entire cyber fleet. Which is actually it's a kind of another carbon copy of Remembrance of the Daleks, but Remember the Daleks is done so much better than this one, but this one I still personally enjoy because I just love the Cybermen. I like the chrome effect look for the Cybermen. It looks so good and gives that kind of more silvery, robotic sort of look, so I do quite like it. Then, of course, we have The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, and personally, I love the whole Greatest Show in the Galaxy. I love the killer clowns. I love the fact we kind of got the bus conductor that does go around killing people. I love the flying kite effect. I love the whole tent thing as well. I love when the Doctor is trying to entertain the gods of Rangarok and basically defeats them, and then as he walks away from the portal and out the tent just blows up behind him. He just carries on walking. So I do love season 25. The best story for season 25 for me is Remembrance of the Daleks, followed by The Happiness Patrol, followed by Seven Nemesis, and then The Greatest Show in the Galaxy in the actual order they were broadcast. Which brings us into the final season of classic Doctor Who, season 26, and I absolutely flipping love season 26. Battlefield is a good story, but it has got some really bad in-traditional music. The music, like the soundtrack for it, isn't really as good as it can be, but it does have some great moments in it, like when the Doctor and Ace are in the spaceship and Ace gets getting trapped and gets covered in water, and of course, Ace, not that way! And then, of course, I do quite enjoy that episode. Ghostlight, fantastic. I really love the horror sort of thing. It really kind of gets me the feel like season 13 type storyline with the horror sort of stuff going on. Same with the Curse of Fenric, because that's kind of got a lot of horror going on with ancient heather falls coming out of the rise of the oceans, which is absolutely brilliant. And it gives me a little bit of a Sea Devil kind of vibe going on, but different. And then, of course, I really love Fenric as well. And I love the way how the 7th Doctor has to manipulate Ace to make her lose her faith in him. And he goes, she's nothing more than a cripple. I wouldn't waste my time on her unless I had to use her somehow. And Sophie Aldred really does do that scene so well. She just falls to the ground screaming no. And then, of course, we have Survival. And Survival, it kind of sets up what's to become for basically the first Russell T Davies era, because we are on a powerless state sort of thing going on. We have a cheetah planet as well, where you got to get a little bit of a gateway from Earth to the cheetah virus planet. And of course, it's where the Master is, and the Master's kind of been infected by the cheetah virus. And of course, he has the yellow eyes, and he's got the fangs and stuff. and as he admits, it nearly destroyed him, a Time Lord. But I actually quite enjoyed it, and of course that was later referenced in The Power of the Doctor, where she goes to the Master, goes, "Last time I saw you, you were turning into a cat." So I do love that reference. So that is a little bit of the seasons. Now, the reason I love McCoy's Doctor is because, yes, he starts off very clownish, but then it's literally just like a peeling an onion. You got more layers. If you peel more layers and more layers to this Doctor, you've got a fantastic manipulative version of the Doctor. He manipulates the Daleks into giving them the Hand of Omega and to destroy Scarro's sun into a supernova. Then, of course, he literally flat out goes and talks to the Dalek Supreme and makes it destroy itself because it doesn't believe the data the Doctor is telling him. I really love the way how the Doctor manipulates those two guards, where in Happiness with Trouble, at the point the gun, he goes, "Go on there and kill me," like that. I found that quite good. I really love Silver Nemesis. I just absolutely love that story. Greatest Show in the Galaxy. I never used to like Greatest Show in the Galaxy. I always thought it's the weak McCoy story. But recently, I watched it on VHS last year for the first time on VHS since I got it on DVD. And I actually quite enjoyed it. And I have got the Target book to read of this story as well. So I do need to start reading more of my Target books. But I do love Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Battlefield, I do quite enjoy, but I just don't like the soundtrack to it. I really love Ghostlight. I mean, in fact, because I love Ghostlight, I literally have... Where is it? If I can find it. There we are. I literally have the soundtrack to Ghostlight. I mean, that's how much I love the McCoy era. I actually have a soundtrack to Ghostlight. I do need to get the soundtrack to Tarman Irani, because I do quite like Tarman Irani's music. It's got some epic moments. I really want to get the music to Curse of Fenric as well. I don't know if it's out on vinyl, but I hope it is out on vinyl, because I do really want to listen to the Curse of Fenric music as well. So yeah, I do have this for the Ghostlight on vinyl. It's the only McCoy story that's got the soundtrack on vinyl, I think. So I am really, really glad I got this in my collection, and I have listened to the hell out of this one quite a few times. I also have to admit, I do love the McCoy era in Full-On General. McCoy's brilliant. Sophie Aldred is absolutely perfect as Ace. McCoy and Sophie are so great together. For Sevos, yeah, they are literally so great together. They are the best companion duo for me. The best TARDIS team. Ace, blow up that vehicle. Ace, one of these days we're going to have a very long talk about safety precautions. I absolutely just flat out love this story. I really love McCoy's Doctor. And in Big Finish, from what I've listened to so far, he's still the same Doctor. He's still manipulative. He knows how to manipulate the events and stuff. Like in Damaged Goods, by a story that was written by Russell T Davies, and it has been adapted by Big Finish. And flipping hell, it is a cracking story. Flat out, just brilliant. So I really do love that story as well. So yeah, basically the McCoy era, I love it because it's basically one of the eras I go to pick a story from quite a lot. It doesn't matter if it's a story from season 24, 25 or 26. If I go to pick a McCoy story, I'm absolutely going to love it. Same with Tom Baker's Doctor, because Tom Baker, to me, I can pick any story, even if it's a bad story like The Leisure Hive. I will still enjoy it because Tom Baker is just the Doctor in it. And that's the thing with McCoy. I just go and pick a McCoy story because I genuinely love the 7th Doctor. And the fact I have cosplayed his season 26 and season 24-25 look. And I have met McCoy quite a few times now. I've met him cosplaying his season 26 outfit. I have cosplayed him in his season 25-24 outfit. And I even met Sophie Aldred, where I was actually cosplaying the 8th Doctor at the time, but my dad was actually wearing my cosplay for McCoy, which is this one. So as you can see, so yeah, I have met Sophie Aldred. As you can see, that's me dressing as the 8th Doctor from Big Finish, Dark Eyes, and my dad's dressed as McCoy. So I have met Sylvester and Sophie. Sophie was McCoy. I've only met 5 times so far, and he's absolutely genuinely fantastic and amazing. And when I have actually told him that he is literally my 2nd favourite Doctor, he's over the moon, because from what he's told me, not many people tell him that he's literally in the top 5 Doctors. He's normally For most people, from what he says to me, they normally say, oh, you're literally like in last place for me, or you're in the top 10 doctors. But for me, he's my second favourite doctor because I genuinely just love his era. And the fact when I was growing up and I watched the last 3 Pertwee stories with my dad and my granddad, and then of course I watched all of Tom Baker, all of Peter Davison, all of Colin Baker stories, and I watched all of McCoy stories, and McCoy's Doctor I genuinely love. And of course I love the theme. I love his theme music. I really love the stories. I just absolutely love the McCoy era. So let me know in the comments, do you love the McCoy era? Let me know. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share, and join me for more awesome Doctor Who content.